He went out, he spoke with the protesters. David, I'm glad to see you. We're going to play some of what you heard.
Are you protesting Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's the policy that you object to?
All of it.
Just like the things he says about women and like the racism.
Like what?
Too many. Yeah.
He does not support other races.
He's got too much money.
He has to be respectful to everyone, because we don't want that kind of people leader for our nation. I think that he is entirely un-American in the way that he goes about his politics.
He's very homophobic and he's racist, and he's just fear-mongering.
Are you working with a group? You've got a UAW sign right there?
Donald Trump has accused me of whatever. No, I do not. Yes, I am union. Union is standing.
With the way things are, I think Trump is gaining a lot of ground because he's
I support Bernie Sanders 120%.
David is with me now. So, David, I have to ask you for full disclosure.
Right.
That is a range of people. In other words, you didn't find and edit out a lot.
No.
That's
Here's what I did. First, I went to the university. There was a protest there, and I went through the crowd. I walked into the protest. I talked to them. What you see is a fair representation. Then I went over. That was in Appleton. Then I'm sorry, in Green Bay. Then I went to Appleton. In Appleton, there was a big thing at the Radisson. So, you know, walked up and down the line. I saw the difference between the protesters and the Trump attendees, the supporters. Blocks long of supporters for Trump walk along the line, a mixture of all people, you name it, age, gender, range, they were all there. On the other side, I didn't cherry pick. I went to everybody. I said, just tell me. I didn't prompt them. Just tell me what you oppose, where you could call it. I heard some crazy answers. He wants to deport all immigrants. What was really disturbing was the students. The fact that I'm at a university and a lot of them were students, there were students against Trump, and they couldn't tell me the policies. A lot of them are Bernie supporters, some were Hillary supporters, some didn't give a support either way.
But nobody was actually giving you details. Here's what he said about this issue, and I disagree because.
They would say some of the things that you know he didn't say. And I say, tell me when he said it. Was it in a debate? Was it in a speech? You may not have to give me the exact date, but can you tell me what and where he said it? And they couldn't. Now, I'll give them some credit. A lot of the students in the university, more of them didn't believe that we should disrupt the rallies. And some of them were going to Trump rallies to hear him.
Okay, worth noting. I want to ask you because fair and balanced, we want to say that there are also protesters at Bernie Sanders rallies, right? I mean, there's protests for every candidate. I mean, and there were some signs. There's one there that Animal Liberation Now, which, you know.
But here's the difference. And by the way, look, I don't have a dog in this race. You played the shot of Senator Cruz at the beginning. He's doing the same thing that Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton is doing. He is casting the violence at Trump and putting his name in it. The fact is there was an older gentleman who wasn't much of a gentleman when he punched a protester at a Trump rally. That's wrong. There was a guy who showed up at a Trump rally in a KKK hood so he could bait people, and they're the Black Lives Matter and the Soros-led groups or Soros-funded groups. They're going there to disrupt.
Agendas to just push the buttons of the crowd.
No, they're not there to push the buttons. I read their papers. They hand out leaflets. Read what they hand out. How to disrupt, what to do. Go as far as your conscience will let you. And I asked people there, is it okay? Yesterday I said, is it okay to disrupt? Some of them said yes. I said, well, what about the First Amendment? Well, in the case of Trump, it's okay. This is deliberately being pushed at him. I'm not exonerating him for his responsibility in taking other things.
The context.
And we don't go to Bernie Sanders rallies, we on the right, and start disrupting them, breaking them up, or trying to bait people. We may have disagreements, even arguments, but violence, find me the violence by someone on the right at a Bernie or Hillary rally or at a Tea Party. Remember the Tea Parties? I'm one of the founders, tens of thousands of people in New York. We didn't have any arrests, any violence. What happens? The left and the hardcore left has an agenda, disruption, breaking down things, making sure the violence is part of it, is part of their operational model.
Provocation. David Webb, thank you.